Oh shit! Oh shit! There you go. It's me again. For emphasis, I had to make sure both ears got all the way up. All the way up and stuck like I get in the mornings, but that's TMI. I say that regularly during my fucking regular podcast, AhhFuGGiT. But right now, we're back to business as far as motherfucking who this been watching is concerned. And I'm motherfucking putting it up right now, pinning that shit so it is up and stuck in the comment section. What the fucking who the fucking what the fuck we're covering this time around for who this been watching back, regularly scheduled basis, except there's a twist and a turn in regards to details as far as what the fuck's going on exactly when, per se, in this case from now on. As far as the show, it was usually live Saturdays on IG Live here via my page, Who This Is One, of course. That doesn't change at all. Where you're getting it from or how it transmitted, who's giving it to you. What will change from now on is the day. No longer Saturdays. Who This Been Watching will now be a Friday night thing instead. So Who This Been Watching moving officially as of today to Friday nights. Not this late, probably at 9 at night, because it seems like people, and I don't blame them, with the 50% indoor capacity now in NYC, or depending on where you are in this country or on this planet, you might have no mandates, no capacity limits, nothing like that, or you might be more restricted still, if anything, like California is, I believe, still to this moment. Doesn't matter. But right now, I don't blame people in NYC or the state. I think they're at 100%, like, just do what the fuck you want at this point now. Go back outside and, keep socially distanced and keep the mask on, whatever. You're free to do what you want, pretty much. But at least here in NYC, I think officially as of today, now it's up to 50% indoor capacity, but still socially distanced, wear the mask, etc., whatever. I don't blame people for going out now. So that's why I'm not going to try to do Friday nights like 9 now. Just I had a really busy day again, another fucking busy Friday because of work. That always sucks. But I had to make time for work to be done properly as far as work getting done so my paycheck doesn't stop coming in. And also making time for fucking one of today's features that we're going to be covering in full detail. Well, maybe not so much detail because holy shit, I had to make a lot of notes. In my mind, I tried to keep a lot and retain a lot, but literally I have to write and or type down or text down a lot of the shit I was watching as I watch, pretty much, so that makes sense of that shit. So yeah, first things first, of course, now Who This Been Watching officially on as of Fridays. We're going to make it 7 o'clock as best I can every Friday, if not Friday, 7, 8-ish, whatever, too. But let's stick to 7 o'clock for now. Fridays, 7 o'clock. Live IG here, Who This Is One, my channel, as well as everywhere afterwards. A couple days later, you'll get the fucking YouTube/audio version via the podcast platforms of your choice, which could be Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher, this, that, the other, whatever, motherfucker. It's all right, you get to choose. Just like the colors of the fucking rainbow is a broad-ass spectrum, so is the podcast platform of your choice as far as where you get the audio version of Who This Been Watching. As well as, again, and don't ever forget, please show love to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/whodissis1. I'm like a cunt's hair short. I'm a fucking tip of the tongue away from 600 subscribers on YouTube. So I'm trying to get up to that fucking good number right there. It's a nice sounding, good even-ass number. It was the number they gave us for the second round of stimulus checks, which, thank God I got all 3 of them. I still keep hearing about, especially like shout outs to IMX, that fucking bozo. He loves screaming about it, Biden, like a fucking dog, like a fucking dog with rabies, howling at the moon. Hey, Joe Biden, I didn't get my $600, but I didn't file my taxes either, so I can't get it, of course. Whatever, fucking idiot. But much love to him, shout outs to him. I say that stuff about him, I make fun of him like that because he's like a brother to me, pretty much. Even though if we came from the same mother, we'd have a lot of explaining to do, pretty much, because of how starkly, painfully different we look from one another. But that's another story another day. Again, shout outs to I Am Mix on Instagram. All I do is mix, I believe. No, I believe it's all I do is mix on Instagram. I Am Mix 24 on YouTube, and I think I Am Mix on Twitter, something like that. He's one of those guys that got like all different variants of his fucking name. He could have kept it simple. I had that too, but I switched it all to keep it simple. Who This Is One. especially because when it came time to build up the fucking Twitch channel, like I finally got around to doing so, Twitch TV/whodissis1, Twitch.tv/whodissis1, I had to make sure I had to emphasize the fact that who this is, that's me, is the one playing. But of course, who this is one is what I hope to fucking yell into my headset by throwing the controller at the TV screen, whatever, or preferably at the ceiling, because I paid a pretty penny for my TV. I'm not trying to fuck that up, and the warranty's been over by now. When I win a fucking, if I ever win a fucking round of Call of Duty, I think the one out now is what, Cold War? I don't do Warzone. Warzone's fucking too hard, too much going on. It's just like an adult version of Fortnite, so I don't really delve into that at all. Shout out to Dialect with a KT at the end, 718. So I don't dive into Warzone at all. If I ever win and I ever have to scream out or make everybody else in the room that lost to me of all people in Call of Duty, I make them have to yell, who this is, say my name, who this is one. Exactly. That's what I just fucking did. That's what you just said. And that's what you just fucking emphasized. Me, I'm the fucking winner. I take home the title, at least for this round. In the next round, I'll probably get fucking no kills and like maybe, 20, if any, 30 deaths or something like that. Because, listen, the whole point of the Twitch channel, again, twitch.tv/whodissis1, is me to have fun. But more importantly, at the expense of my having fun, is really me saying, hey, I suck out loud for the world to see. I'm broadcasting it for like a set amount of hours so you can enjoy seeing how much I suck. But at the same time, I'm able to multitask and talk my shit while I suck as much as an adult probably shouldn't, playing video games, which I'm probably too old for to begin with. But then again, at this point, majority of fucking gamers, the one heavily invested in the fucking gaming franchise, gaming business, gaming lifestyle, they're probably way too old to begin with anyway. I mean, listen, if we got the kids now that grow up already knowing how to fucking handle a tablet, an iPhone better than you can, and you're like my age, like almost 30-ish or whatever, says a lot about us in general. But still, it also says a lot about what the fuck we're doing with the kids and trusting them too much with technology. And the next thing you know, you got a fucking cyborg being born in real life like they got in fucking Justice League of all things. Which again, as you can see in the pinned comment there, in the comment section below, here, who this is one, the channel, of course, live, as you're going to get it every Friday from now on at 7 p.m.-ish, here on Instagram Live first. Who this been watching? Movie recap and review today is going to be focused on solely Justice League from 2017. No anniversary, no other rhyme or reason to fucking talk about that movie or go in depth about it, besides the fact that we just are, like a day or so removed from the infamous, now much heralded and esteemed Snyder Cut version of the Justice League movie from 2017. You know that shit that came out years ago. That was like just before fucking Endgame and Infinity War. Actually, I think a year before Infinity War, if I remember correctly. And I don't remember it getting torn apart, but I don't remember it getting a lot of positive press per se. I mean Justice League, the first version. If you go on Twitter, I haven't really checked Instagram like that these past couple of days. I've been busy like that. Again, work's been fucking taking up my adult life as I wish it wouldn't, but it did, because I've been busy like that. If you go on Twitter, you'll see all kinds of fucking praise and pretty much nothing but. If, let's say, out of every 10 tweets, 9 of them are just straight praising, like the second coming of God / Snyder in the flesh, because of what he did with the Snyder Cut version of Justice League. And there's always that one tweet that's not even negative, or not even like trashing or saying it's bad or just trying to be that fucking troll on purpose. No, it'll be that one tweet that says, it was all right, or it was just too long. If you want to know and you're trying to see how I fall, or which category I fall into as far as the Snyder Cut version of Justice League, and of course Justice League, as we'll discuss right now, we're talking about both this episode, you got to stay tuned, because there's a lot to fucking get into. Only I get to do it in my way, shape, and form and fashion, recapping and reviewing how only who's been watching is able to do so. That's what I'm fucking saying, and that's what you're going to get right now. Watching, viewing, listening, however you got to do it. I appreciate you first off, but don't ever forget, again, Fridays from now on, the new day / night, because it'll be 7 p.m. onwards for Who This Been Watching. Live, first here on Instagram Live, on my account, whodissis1. And then again, as always, as I mentioned, a couple of days later on your podcasting platform of preference, be it Spotify, Stitcher, SoundCloud, iTunes, whatever the fuck else is out there that I'm probably on anyway, because I've searched and researched all of them possible to make sure I'm there. Even fucking Amazon, for God's sakes. I'm there. I'm not for sale, just for redistribution purposes. Bezos, get at me. I'm trying to fucking strike a deal with your rich ass. While you're still, if not the richest guy, one of the richest guys on this fucking planet. You know, until further notice, until I can get to your fucking ex-wife and try to see what's good with those fucking 48, 50 billion she got from your fucking split up. Bezos was good. Jeff, or I think Amanda Bezos, whatever. I got Bezos for you. I'm Spanish. I got Bezos. Turn that Z to a S. I got a ton of those. Bezos, meaning mwah, 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 mwah. Kisses you, beautifully rich fucking woman. Rich in spirit. Rich in fucking soul. Rich in humanity. And rich in the fucking bag. The grips of money you got fucking piled up there gathering dust because you want to give it to charity of all things. What's the matter with you, Miss Former Bezos? Come at me. I'm a charity case. Look at this fucking face. Look what I gotta fucking do to fucking get some eyes and ears. Literally, with these fucking ears right here, props. I'm my own props upon, for God's sakes. I can't afford nobody else to pay them to fucking do this for me or look as idiotic as I do half the time by doing this shit and going crazy like that. But that's just another point for another day, another episode most likely, if not AhhFuGGiT vibes. Don't forget also AhhFuGGiT. That's my main podcast where it's far from the movie recap review, but the same energy as far as something I'm bitching about to something that fucking ticked me off, something that got me off my fucking chakra balance centered and just made me go, fuck it. I gotta talk about it at some point. I just put up a new episode today actually on YouTube and everywhere you get your podcast from, called Drake's Cakes. Pause, by the way. It is talking about Drake. It's not a Drake heavy episode, but he is a main component / factor of today's episode up there. You know, some talk about Ludacris, who literally he's living up to the word, the actual, Merriam-Webster's dictionary meaning of the word he derived his own career from, ludicrous. It's ludicrous how much he's gotten out there, or it's ludicrous for the Discovery Channel or whatever fucking streaming network that is that has a Food Network and Nat Geo and whatever else too. No, I think Nat Geo's with Disney. No, it's Discovery Channel, Animal Planet, fucking the Historian Channel, Smithsonian Channel, all them fucking dumbass shits you only watch when you're high and fucking hungry and up at 3 a.m. on a Saturday. Those shits, all them. They got the fucking incentive to try to lure you in by fucking having a show called Luda Can't Cook of all things, when it really should be parentheses afterwards, who gives a fuck anyway, but here's something to watch, hopefully if you're high and hungry enough. And you're that lonely and alone during the pandemic still, but whatever. That's all fucking vibes. Now, back to the main point, and finally back to what we're doing here in the return episode of Who This Been Watching. Back on a regularly scheduled basis, by the way, too, of course, first and foremost. Oh, excuse me. We're talking about Justice League. Oh, excuse me. Again, first release 2017. Justice League, of course, that had Batman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Aquaman, and Cyborg. Trying to resurrect Superman because there's this thing called the Mother's Box / Mother Nature's Pussy, because that's the best way I could fucking identify or best describe this thing, because it's a life force within itself. It fucking recreates a planet within its own image of itself. It's like a whole fucking energy box thing. I just call it like a big old intergalactic pussy. Just fucking transported, cubed up in a box and fucking holding all the power there, because that is where all life derives from anyway, the pussy. I can't relate directly because shout out to all you out there who are C-section babies like I am or I was. They had to cut me out my mom's guts to even bring me to this world because I was 2 months early. I had the umbilical cord wrapped around my neck and I was gonna fucking jump out my mom's pussy feet first if they would have went that route with me. But no, they saw, oh shit, he's gonna be too much trouble as is already. So they had to fucking snip and slice and dice, chop me the way, all the fucking way they could out of the fucking guts. I know it's not the way to describe it, it's not how it works either, but it's fun to describe a C-section being done that way, digging my mom's guts out to fucking pick me out of all things. But again, another story, another day. Justice League was, of course, the answer, I would think, the immediate answer go-to for DC to fucking combat, to rival anything Marvel or the Marvel Universe had out at that time. So it was 2017 when they released it. It's definitely the year before. It was definitely before Endgame, and I believe up to a year before Avengers Infinity War. So, two very good films. I loved Infinity War, still do a lot. I liked Endgame. I was there to see it the day before it released. I did the 22 movie marathon of all the Marvel films that came out before and leading up to the release of Endgame. I went to Albert Square Mall in Brooklyn. It was like $120, I think, for the ticket. But literally I spent, it was either 2 or 3 whole days there, leading up to the Thursday of the official global release of Avengers Endgame, to watch it like a day and some hours before the rest of the world got to. It came included with the ticket and shit, along with a bunch of memorabilia, some like cheap shit that they gave away to fucking justify $120, but literally it was paying that much to be in the theater, to watch everything from fucking the first Iron Man from 2008, again, up until fucking Avengers Infinity War. And then, of course, capping off with Endgame before anybody else, which is worth it, absolutely fun, memorable. Did I lose sleep? Yes, because that whole weekend went to just fucking sleep to recuperate. Even though I knew which ones to sleep through. I knew I knew I was going to immediately sleep through all the Hulks. I didn't like any of the Hulks. Thor 2, I think The Dark World is called. And there was some other one. It was everything except the X-Men movies, nothing Fox. So I would have gladly slept through all the X-Men, new ones and old ones too. But I missed out on those. And there were some other ones I slept through, but I can't remember right now. If I had the list, I'd tell you which ones I slept through. But again, the Hulks and Thor 2 were the ones I gladly slept through and fucking, or snuck out a fucking gym run too. There was a gym nearby. I brought a whole fucking duffel bag with me, change of clothes. Gym was right there, 2 blocks away to shower, so I was good as far as that was concerned. But thank God. But yeah, Justice League came out 2017. Big deal, of course, because it's teaming up everybody. It's right after the release. Well, not so much right after, because that was 2016. Right after the release, following up Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice, which shouts to Easy, or Edward Zephyrin, whatever the fuck he wants to go by. He did that episode with me last week, pre-recorded, not live. Still waiting on that episode to come up and be loaded. So when it drops is when it'll drop. But we did the Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice because we actually saw it the day of when it came back out in 2016. I believe March 16th or something like that. Some funny number sequence coincidence, whatever the fuck, too. And we're perfectly straight guys. We're just watching movies together. It was just so cool because Batman vs. Superman finally on the big screen. Pause, whatever, just in case. But yeah, then 2017, of course, Justice League drops. It's a big deal because it's finally teaming up everybody in the DC movie universe, at least. Up until that point, it was only, of course, Superman with Man of Steel, which I loved, and I was fucking still defend that movie because it was definitely good. We can touch on that eventually in a future episode. Of course, feel free to drop a comment, reach out to me, whatever you gotta do. Let me know you want me to do that episode eventually. But yeah, Man of Steel, I love that one. Of course, that was Superman's intro with Henry Cavill doing his thing as Superman. Real good job. I liked it. That followed up with that was followed up by Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice, which of course we got the intro to Ben Affleck as Batman, or Batfleck, which is, at least for the sake of that movie, I will still say and agree, oh shit, I might shock some people here. I'm one of those. Just like you might not be surprised that I'm not a flat earther, I will have to surprise and shock you potentially with me saying that I think Ben Affleck, or Batfleck, is probably the best Batman of all of them. Movies, TVs, whatever. I gotta go with him being number one, in my heart at least. Pause. But yeah, that's my favorite Batman till now. And of course, that was also the debut officially of Wonder Woman, or Gal Gadot, whatever the fuck, however you want to say it. She's a piece of ass, whichever way you split it. That pussy, of course, regardless. So, yeah, she got introduced in that shit. Too much going on in that movie. I mean, whenever I get the fucking review up or whenever it's made available, too much going on, too much crammed in. We didn't need a 3-hour ultimate version. Fucking mic cable, excuse me. There we go. Sorry, technical errors slightly. The mic came loose. So yeah, as I was saying, Dawn of Justice had too much going on in it within the 2.5 hours in theater to only then get a 3-hour ultimate R-rated, but only because someone said fuck a couple times and sprinkled in throughout. Otherwise, it didn't deserve it. 3-hour ultimate edition, which really wasn't merited. It didn't really add a lot more. And I think that was probably the precursor or setup to what we got just a day removed from when we're recording live now, motherfucking the Snyder Cut, because they added a whole half hour to that ultimate edition of Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice. I still feel unnecessary because why? I mean, the movie was long enough. There was too much going on already. There was a lot wrong with that movie. Overall, I still feel it's whatever. No, I wouldn't even say that. It's O. It's O because the Batman warehouse scene towards the end of the fucking movie makes up for the right before it, funny enough and oddly enough, how it's positioned. The infamous Martha, how do you know that name? Scene and shit. So it's a whole mess, that fucking movie. But it's an enjoyable mess. If it's on, it's one of those I'll fucking stick with it and just fucking watch it, especially if I know the warehouse scene is coming up. Anytime that's on like TNT or I think it's just D&T for now, whatever, movie channel that plays it, I'll fucking watch it just for that fucking scene. It's so fucking epic. And that's so actually Batman in its nature that how could you fucking deny its existence? Then that goes into fucking, of course, right after Justice League. So it was kind of like, hand in hand, the way everything was sequenced. Oh, and of course, let me not forget fucking Wonder Woman. Of course, the first Wonder Woman film, which I really loved and enjoyed. What the fuck happened with Wonder Woman 1984? I can't explain it till now, but I do thank God for that movie, for having that one be the one to introduce me and inspire me to introduce, more importantly, my rating system, which we'll get to at the very end of the episode after we review both Justice League OG and Justice League Snyder Cut as well. But without fucking that, I don't get the rating system that I fucking created and elaborated because of the fucking movie, as I said, Wonder Woman 1984 sucking so hard. But yeah, Wonder Woman, the first one, very good, enjoyable. I'd say easily, without a question, the best of the DC movies. Will it top? In my opinion, of course. If you ask me, since you're watching, of course, you're asking me in your head, of course. Hopefully we're sharing the same brain length, whatever. If it's better than the Snyder Cut, you'll have to stay tuned till the very end to find out. But I did enjoy Wonder Woman very much, very, very much so. Now, finally, Justice League. Listen, a lot of build-up to it as far as anticipation because there was a very brief introduction to fucking Cyborg. He didn't have a movie, of course, so nowhere else to see his debut but Justice League. Same thing with this Flash, which correct me if I'm wrong and forgive me if I am, but I'm not really into DC like that, so I wouldn't know offhand. But I think the TV Flash, whenever and whoever that was, isn't the same Flash that we got in Justice League. So again, I never watched it, the TV version, I mean, so correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know, to be honest, and I don't give a shit, honestly. But we got that brief intro to him in Justice League. And then, of course, how could I forget, forgive me for doing so, we got Aquaman. He did get his movie. I forget, honestly, if it was before or after Justice League. I think it would make sense if it was before it, in 2017 at least. We got Aquaman. I still haven't seen it. I was supposed to see it before leading into both Justice Leagues now today, but I fell asleep and I forgot. And fucking the Snyder Cut is 4 hours long, so of course I needed a fucking break in between this shit. It's not The Godfather. It's not motherfucking Dawn of Justice, which is probably a good thing or a bad thing depending on who you fucking ask. Well, you're asking me because you're watching, and thanks for watching and doing so. Shout outs to TDGR Podcast for joining the live. Shout outs to you. But yeah, point is, we got the rough intro to everybody leading up to Justice League itself. Now, let's go into the first Justice League, the OG version, 2017. First one that got fucking polished, shined up real nice. got the real pretty package and the bow on top to fucking deliver to the world. Us, the awaiting audience, to see what the fuck's it gonna look like when we get all of them put together in one ensemble in one fucking movie and see if it was done right. Because these are the type of things they fuck up all the time. The collabo, the fucking joint ventures, the fucking mashup movies, everything too, etc., etc. But yeah, point is Justice League. Now, if you don't know by now, of course, Justice League is after Dawn of Justice. Superman's dead. That asshole fucking, what's his name? Apocalypse? What's his name? Doomsday, sorry. Doomsday, not Apocalypse. Doomsday kills Superman in that fucking final battle mishmash fucking mess of a ending that Dawn of Justice had. Kills him, takes his ass with him to the fucking grave. Well, I don't know what happened to Doomsday. I think he just evaporated or some shit like that, as he was just an alien being. So aliens tend to do that, just dissipate, evaporate before your very eyes. Superman's dead. He gets buried. There is that very last hint at the end of Dawn of Justice in his fucking coffin, whatever. The dirt particles rise, so of course he's coming slowly but surely going to come back to life. So then eventually it's just a matter of when, not if. But it's a long ass wait apparently. As far as the time lapse between Dawn of Justice and Justice League, I'm not too sure. It might be a matter of days, who knows? It might just be a matter of fucking everybody's like a stalker on Superman's Instagram to find out when he's like the IG baddie that broke up. So now everybody's flooding his inbox to see what's really good. Let me slide in, boom, 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 blah, 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 whatever. It's similar in that path. But yeah, he's pretty much dead. So then apparently there's this whole existence of the fucking mother boxes. There's 3 of them that come from another galaxy. They're spread out throughout the fucking earth. One of them's in fucking Atlantis, so Aquaman's got it fucking on lockdown. The other one's with the Amazonians, with all the bad bitches over there in that little private island where fucking Wonder Woman's from. And then there's one more, someplace on Earth. I didn't fucking really pay attention where, but someplace on Earth where they find the mother box, and it's all there. So when all 3 of them come together, they fucking call this motherfucker called Steppenwolf to power. And to really bring hell on Earth, because he's like this super ultimate warrior type of intergalactic figure, which can't be fucked with. He's overpowered as is, at least in the first version of Justice League, the one we got first up. We're talking about right now, 2017. He's like undefeatable. He's like God level. He battled with fucking the Atlanteans before, Aquaman's people. He battled with the Amazonians before. You know, Wonder Woman's bitches and shit. Bitches, I mean as in bad bitches, not as bitches as in like being derogatory towards them or putting them down. No, they'd all beat my ass. And listen, in their cases, I let them beat my ass gladly as long as I could beat off while they're beating my ass. Pause, excuse me, and sorry for being so TMI with it, but I'm being honest with it. Come on. You fucking see all these statuesque ass fucking women that all look like Gal Gadot or above, or almost at fucking level at least, none beneath. At least the ones they cast. That's a point I made on the last episode, or prior to this one, with Dawn of Justice. No, actually, yeah, Dawn of Justice, because whoever fucking casted the female roles for everybody that played their part in this shit, Dawn of Justice and fucking Justice League unofficially as well too, I guess you could say, because there's not a lot of females, mostly guys. It's a sausage party and fucking Wonder Woman's forces her way in, which I wish she forced her way into my bedroom, but that's another episode for another time. Whoever fucking casted the females, as far as Gal Gadot is Wonder Woman, motherfucking Amy Adams is Lois Lane, and of course, pleasant surprise, of all things, goddamn Diane Lane as fucking Martha Kent, Superman's mama. Holy shit. Fucking an ensemble of fine-ass women. One finer than the other. If you got an age preference, if you got a thing for redheads, or if you got a thing for just an overall fucking goddess-like figure, woman, whatever, take your fucking pick. You're bound to fucking hit everywhere. It's about to get up and stuck everywhere. On the ceiling, on the fucking windows, to the walls. Till y'all bitches fall. Whatever. Shout out to Lil Jon. Skeet, by the way. And also, a pleasant surprise back in Dawn of Justice was when they always got to do with Batman's backstory. They always got to show the scene where fucking parents get shot up in the alley, and that awkward where, I don't know if this happened in real robbery, why you would waste a pearl necklace assuming they're rich folks and they got a pearl necklace to wear in the first place, because wearing a fake one at this point is kind of stupid. But they always got to do that thing where the robber, presumably a Joker or like someone Joker-esque in nature, whoever kills the parents, fucking tucks the gun underneath the fucking pearl necklace and yoinks it off her. So it fucking, all the pearl beads fly all over the place. And it's a loss of a fucking necklace, because I would think pearls of all things, if they're legit, which most likely the Wayne family would have legit fucking pearl necklaces just to fucking toss on if they need to go to 7-Eleven for a midnight run, you get a pretty penny to turn those in. At least back when fucking Batman's parents died, you could fucking go to the pawn shop and whatever. Not like these days where it's probably traceable back to the owner, whatever. No, you could fucking like pawn that shit and make like a quick little grip off that too. But I don't know why they always do that with every version of fucking how they kill off his parents. But of course, that's again Dawn of Justice. We're talking about Justice League right now. So back to the point is, Steppenwolf's a fucking ultimate bad guy, so they figure, you know what? Let's get a hold of one of these fucking mother boxes, because that's where Cyborg was born from. And since he can manipulate that shit, let's get his fucking robotic, scientific ass to work this shit to our favor and bring back Superman, which they do. But Superman's evil and confused and emo and Linkin Parkish. Shout out and rest in peace to Chester. I forget his name. The dude that killed himself from fucking Linkin Park. But shout out to Chester Bennington. There we go. Shout out to him. And quick side note on a serious note, if I can. Suicide is not funny. If you're having those thoughts, please get help. There's hotlines, free help, online consultation, all that. Get help. Don't be ashamed or too shy to ask for help in that sense too. Again, rest in peace to Chester Benningfield. Or Bennington. I forget his name right now. I don't mean to butcher it and make fun of it. I'm just saying rest in peace to him, because he did end up taking his life. But yeah, again, a serious side note aside. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So yeah, Justice League again. Yeah, so he's back to life. He's confused. He's angry. He's back to life. He even tells Batman at one point, "You can't leave me alone. I'm dead even. I can't die in peace because of your stupid ass, overly rich billionaire ass and whatever." And you know, he goes evil, but then Lois convinces him to fucking remember who he is, and he comes back in the nick of time, just like Superman would, when the world's getting fucking pulverized, when everybody's getting fucked up because they're not as powered or nearly as superpowered as Superman is. Of course, that's when he swoops in at the right moment to fucking save the day and save everybody's ass from dying. The world needs saving. Of course, Superman, who better than to fucking come in and be, of course, the hero as he hits the Superman pose. Hands on his hips, pause. But yeah, comes in, fucks the guy up. They're done, whatever. World safe again. Okay, that's Justice League. The whole point was to bring everybody together. But with that, of course, at the very end, if you haven't seen it, spoilers, by the way, it's fucking, 2017 till now, like 4 years after the fact still. And you got the whole Snyder Cut too. Spoilers at the very end, after the credits, I believe, or just before they end, you get a fucking snippet of corny, lame-ass, Williamsburg-esque fucking Lex Luthor / Jesse Einsberg balled up on a yacht off the coast of France, meeting up with, of all things, and who really deserved his own fucking movie, and or at least a good part as the villain of that solo Batman flick we were supposed to get with Ben Affleck, Slade Wilson, or fucking Deathstroke, better known as, plotting and scheming to build. Well, if they're putting together the Justice League and doing their thing, you know, why not put together the fucking I forget what the villain version of it was called. The Doom. I forget what the fuck it's called. God damn it. But whatever they fucking build up with all the bad guys on it, that's what they do. They fucking they plant the seeds to eventually stem the roots of fucking building that whole shit too. And then it would have led into fucking like Avengers with 4 or 5 of them by now too, into fucking Justice League. This one, that one, whatever, boom, 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 blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's the first Justice League summary of. Now listen, Batman is not properly justified as a superhero in Justice League, especially the first one, because we're going to talk about that one first. He has a pretty cool intro into fucking Justice League as far as swooping in, fucking the guy up, the burglar on the rooftop scene, But then that's one of the bug guys, one of the fucking, I forget what they call him in the movie, but one of the bug guys that works at fucking Stephanopoulos, whatever his name is, swoops in. It's cool until that guy shows up because he's like a big, oversized bug man with like some sort of laser gun, plasma cannon, whatever. He could easily fuck up Batman, but then Batman, of course, has to struggle. From like 5 minutes into Justice League, Batman's already struggling with like a lot of shit. Where presumably, and usually, Batman's not the one that struggles so much, because in other versions of like even animated films or whatever, Batman's the one that everybody goes to at the end of the day, because even Batman, as underpowered as he is compared to everybody you could fucking name possible, even fucking bum-ass the Flash, he's just super fast. He has no other powers. He's a fucking shrimpy cuck who just runs really fast, so like the fastest thing on the planet. Shout out to Sonic the Hedgehog. That was a good episode too. Go back to that one, episode 16, I believe, of Who This Been Watching. That was a fun one to do. Besides just short of being the Flash, Batman, of course, has no powers besides being fucking rich. But he's the one with the fail-safe plan to bring them all down if need be, because he's the only one with enough brains, because he's human after all, just like we all are and all you are watching and listening, to know if these beings, these powerful beings, God forbid, one day decide to turn on us all just because they have powers, or they get fucking brainwashed, because there's the villains that specify or specialize in brainwashing motherfuckers out there. Who's to stop us from when they turn on us and decide to fuck us all up? We don't need the aliens. We don't need the robots at that point. We got Superman fucking up the planet if he wants to in half a day. Every fucking living being who gets in his way gets zapped, fucking punched in the dust, or whatever, just thrown into fucking space and left to fucking disintegrate amongst the stars and shit and turn to star dust, literally. So who's going to stop him there? That's Batman. That's the enchantment. That's the power. That's the allurement of Batman. There's books written on the fucking psychology, philosophy on Batman, which, by the way, Edward Zephyrin, easy. You never gave me back that fucking book, you fat ass. I'm still looking for that book. Don't think because I got all them books on my bookshelf, I'm one of those assholes that never read any of them. I just got them for show. No, I read my books, and I'm still waiting to get that one back. Fat fuck. Whatever. That's Batman. Severely underpowered compared to everybody here. And it's not fair because it's just painfully noticeable how nothing he is compared to fucking, again, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Flash, Cyborg, of course, Superman. And we'll get to more of that probably as we go down further down the line. But then listen, another thing I don't understand, and this is where Batman actually shines at the very end of Justice League 1. And I love that they threw this part in as much as a comic relief, as a fucking punching bag, as underpowered as they purposely showcased Batman to be in the first version of Justice League. I love that, of all things, Superman's mom loses a house. And that's not even 10 minutes into the first version of Justice League. Of all things, you'd imagine, the most powerful fucking being on this planet. All these superpowers. Everything imaginable. Who the fuck else could you imagine beyond Superman, or a Superman as he's fucking named? Of all things, he can't fucking maneuver his way out of, or superpowers way out of. He cannot get a hold of his finances, let alone his mama's finances, to the point where she loses the fucking house. It's a fucking farm in the middle of nowhere in Kansas, where he grew up, lived his whole life, and only because his dad died, a fucking human man, who taught him to be a human as well, besides the fact that he's Superman, keeping it underneath the tuck this whole time, he can't keep his finances in check. So that means what? Do we need to pull a fucking credit report on Superman and see where the fuck his credit score lies? What is he in, like the 500s or the 400s probably even? Does he even have credit? Is he leaving like an illegal immigrant? Because then again, there's a whole presumed persona of Clark Kent. He's legally on the books because he's working at Daily Planet, and I'm sure a reporter doesn't just randomly pop up off the street to become one of them at any given point without having a social security number. So, of course, okay, that proves that all wrong. So, no need to get mad at Biden for letting Superman cross the border, or Superman potential-esque children cross the border. Jokes, of course, politics aside. But, yeah, that's the one thing that Batman has to flex on Superman. The fact that, well, I'm human, I have no powers compared to you, but hey, guess what? I got money. I got a lot of money. So much money, I bought your mama's house back. No, fuck that. I took it one step further. I bought the fucking bank that fucking repossessed your mama's house, and now it's my bank, meaning my house. So your mama, Diane Lane in this case, looks so good if I really have to point it out to her and emphasize the fact that I saved your house, Superman's mama. What's good with that choach, even though I think and I know because I'm the world's greatest detective, Superman wasn't born from that human pussy. Still, let's see what could have been done had he been born in the fucking experimentation, whatever. I mean, listen, at some point in the comic books, I think, Batman got Lois Lane pregnant or something like that. So he's not above being a scumbag. And he's a billionaire, he's emo, he's still upset 50-something years later after his parents got shot dead in front of him in cold blood, which I don't blame him. I think that's something you don't easily let go of, but still, he's so gloomy and dark or whatever, and he's fucking this one, he's fucking that one, making mortal enemies with them, but then sleeping with them, and whatever and whatnot. I think Batman is one of those cases, too, where, like, the women flock to the fucking broody, moody guy that's, like, broken or needs to be fixed, or they think they're the ones that they can fix him or whatever. I think it's one of those going on. So Batman has the power to flex his finances on Superman. Thank God, finally some sort of fucking redeemable superpower. Of course, Batman don't qualify for the incentive check, so of course he's laughing at us from the Batcave of all things. That's Batman. Wonder Woman's introduction here in Justice League, both versions, this one and the Snyder Cut, is so much better than anything we got in its entirety, the whole fucking movie, name a part, I'll fucking shoot it down, than anything we got in Wonder Woman 1984. That's sad. I have to admit to that. I have to acknowledge that, but that's what it is. Because the whole scene where she's fucking up these guys, I think they're in England, but I don't know if they're English or whatever. They got like some funny accent anyway, too. They're like international terrorists or whatever. So European terrorists or whatever. So they're robbing this fucking place and holding people hostages and shit. And the whole fucking way the scene plays out, too, it's just a matter of she just leaps right into action, busts right through the door, fucks these guys up left and right, fucking overpowered as fuck as possible. She's basically Superman with a pussy. Just with a lasso and a sword and a fucking shield, and pretty as fuck too. So that helps. I would think, like, if I got confronted by Gal Gadot Wonder Woman. Now also Linda Carter, shout out to Linda Carter. When she was younger doing her thing as the very first Wonder Woman that made a lot of fucking, guys in the 70s and 80s or whenever the fucking show was on, go through early puberty because of how fucking fine she was, those fucking milky tits of hers. Listen, if I got confronted with either one of them, the young ones, the younger Linda Carter, or current day Wonder Woman now with Gal Gadot, if I got confronted by either one of them, I'm fucking, all my blood's rushing to my dick. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing afterwards. I'm gonna be too fucking brain dead to even hold my gun anymore. It's gonna just fucking go limp like my hand, because again, the blood ran to my fucking dick instead. And I'll just fucking do whatever she tells me. She's gonna have to fucking rope the lasso around my dick, if anything, to get the truth out of me. I'll confess gladly to everything just to get a fucking close-up glimpse of her and just fucking look into her big old fucking beautiful brown eyes or whatever, and just confess to everything I did throughout my whole life. She'll have to beat me up just to shut me up at that point, too. I'll be confessing and blabbing way too much. But more importantly, back to the scene, of course, though, we're referring to. This scene is a lot better. It's much more action-packed, more fulfilling of what Wonder Woman we expected to get, and we did get in the first movie, this first solo venture. We didn't get any of in the second one. Now, I know there's that whole thing with the second one. They wanted to show the empathetic, more peace-loving, prophesizing side of her in Wonder Woman 84, but too much of that shit, underpowered, fucking too emo, too fucking inner feelings like that, too Drake-ish like that with anything. So nothing good came out of that shit, and of course, that wasn't that great a movie, so point well taken. This scene alone, better than anything we got in 84. So there's that also. Special effects for Cyborg throughout the fucking movie. Pick one, Justice League OG or Justice League Snyder Cut, is really fucking good. They did a really good job with Cyborg, making him look like a legit fucking half man, half robot cyborg. Of course, that's what he named himself, literally. I wonder if he named himself or did they just dub him cyborg. He was like, fuck it, I'll go with that shit. But looks really good. Really good special effects on it. Him and Flash, actually. Because there is a thing in Age of Ultron. My least favorite of the 4 Avengers movie, surprisingly. Even though as long as Endgame was and like kind of hit and miss with the Q points and shit, Age of Ultron was the weakest. A thing I didn't like too much in that movie was it Quicksilver? Yeah. Quicksilver, Wanda's brother. The effects on him running around, being fast and that shit too, might have been just before Justice League, but whoever did the special effects for The Flash, purposely for Justice League, gets, 2 ears up. My hat's off if I would dare to do so, but I'm not trying to show you my head right now. I'm too tired and I'm too lazy to do so. Fucking Justice League, the Snyder Cut wore me out. But yeah, shout outs and hats off to him for a very good job of making The Flash look believable in his fucking Flash moments, of course, when everything slows down around him, but he's the fastest one being able to fully move around him and shit, or even when he's going fucking lightning speed and shit. But then again, back to Cyborg, whoever worked on him, most likely same team, same person, whatever, shout outs to them. Really good job with Cyborg, looked super convincing. At some point, I believed there might have legit been an actual Cyborg cast for the movie that we don't know of, that the government's keeping on fucking lockdown once the movie was done filming, and we never heard or seen from it again. We can't presume genders here, of course. It's a cyborg. You might want to identify as whatever. But yeah, shout out to that. For the special effects looking real good. Let me see. The mother boxes, again, to me, sounded like slang for pussy, if anything, because Mother Nature is the life force of this environment, of this planet, of planet Earth and shit, too. So it just reminded me every time I heard mother box, the term of, sounds like pussy, or like big time pussy, whatever. Also, side note, finally touching on Aquaman, pause. I'm sure a lot of women out there, the female viewers do. Excuse me, shout out to Jason Momoa. That name alone gave me gas, I'm sorry. It's at 46 minutes in Justice League where we get the female mermaid Aquaman soldier lady, whatever. She's a piece of ass. I just had to add that note in. Oh, God, what a fucking fine-looking woman. But, yeah. And then I had this whole thing with shout-outs to J.K. Simmons, the actor, or better known as James Jonah Jameson, and actually both the Spider-Man embodiments on film. Fucking the first trilogy. Sorry, not the one with Andrew Garfield. I meant to say only the one with Tobey Maguire, that first trilogy, and now the current existing Spider-Man, I mean to say. What's his fucking name? I forget the guy's name. The kid doing Spider-Man now, but I know his name. He ain't a kid. He's actually an older guy, but he looks horribly young. But yeah, him. James Jonah Jameson in both of the better versions of Spider-Man. And on top of that, I think he's one of those few guys that was able to play up both parts in the DC universe as well as the Marvel universe. So shout outs to him. He's always fun to see. Especially now, too, as Commissioner Gordon. I like what they did with Batman this time around. With fucking... I mean, listen. There's, I forget his fucking name in the fucking, the Dark Knight trilogy. His name, the actor for real that did Commissioner Gordon. But he's always good. He was very good as Gordon throughout the whole time. And of course, we can never probably forget Michael Caine as Alfred in the same Dark Knight trilogy as well, too. But again, major props and shout outs to both Alfred here, Jeremy Irons, really good, really snarky, really fucking sarcastic the whole time. But again, he doesn't look that much older than Batman. He looks practically like his fucking bro or something like that. He just happens to be his servant. Like he lost the bet and said, okay, you're my servant now, bro. It's like, yes, sir, Mr. Wayne, or whatever. And then J.K. Simmons' Gordon, too, was really good. Like, very few and far between. We didn't really get a lot of him anyways. But the just enough we got from him here in Justice League was pretty good. I liked him as a fucking choice. One concern I do have, and as OP as Steppenwolf was in the first Justice League, I don't understand and I can't quite comprehend Steppenwolf. I know there's a whole fucking history behind that name, how it came to be. There's like a band named Steppenwolf. Again, there's history and fucking whatever running crazy with fucking Steppenwolf itself. But if it's got wolf in the name, why of all things does he not look like a wolf? Why does he not have a fucking clan, a group of soldiers that look like wolves? They're all fucking bugs, half humans. I can't tell really what the fuck they are. And then next thing you know, I think someone said he was like a turtle of some sorts. I don't see it. And I think they might have been lying just to fuck with my head. But he's like a big, scaly thing. He's like a lizard. He's like a rock. He's like a, I don't know, like an amphibian of some sorts too. He's pretty disturbing looking without the fucking armor on. But yeah, he's overpowered, at least in the first one too, until Superman comes along and fucks everybody up like he always does anyway. And then, you know, that fucking goes on. And I'm just confused by that. It's got the name Wolf in it. Why not cheat a little bit, at least, and fucking have like a wolf's head, save some money on the budget, you know, like a fancy wolf's head, you know, like from a Halloween store or something like that. And everybody around him was like wolf soldiers. They all fucking gathered together, howl at the moon. Oh, when they fucking lose and shit, or when they win, they start like just scratching each other, like picking fleas off each other, some shit. I don't know, something stupid like that. Another thing that bothered me a lot about both versions, Justice League OG and Justice League fucking Snyder Cut, was the Flash. Not so much the Flash, the actor. He's not terrible, but my opinion, of course. He's not bad. But I really hate that in both movies, and even worse in Snyder Cut, he talks, one, way too fucking much, and two, at least to me, he's horribly unfunny. Every fucking time. He just sounds awkward, unfunny, says some fucking shit that didn't need to be said. Not so much like controversial or fucking like to raise eyebrows or whatever, no, but more like just, why are you fucking talking? Why would you even move your mouth right now around some actual scientists, gifted individuals, fucking genius level detectives, Amazonian warriors that can fucking read minds and has a lasso of truth to wrap around your fucking body and neck and shit? Why, of all people, are you fucking uttering a word? You stupid idiot. You fucking jerk off. And he just talks too much. Be it the first one, be it the Snyder Cut. Too many fucking lines, too much shit that makes no sense, or too much intended to be funny shit that fucking whoop goes limp like a dick and sticks nowhere. So it's never up and stuck like in the clouds, or like Cardi B would tell you, but just whoop, goes down south, down low. Like P. Pablo or fucking, who was the one that had that shit? Not Killer Mike, who's the other guy? David Banner. Everybody get down low on the floor, whatever the fuck. Oh, shout out to Champion Crewneck. Or Jesus, as we like to call him, because he's that flowing and going with the hair like a god almost, and fucking immaculate beard. He's one of those guys that shaves this morning, and by this afternoon, same day of, he's got fucking brolic status, god status, fucking beard game going on. I'm jealous if you can't tell, bro. And shout outs to you, Missy. I haven't seen you in a while, and yes, my hat. It's on my own props department. I'm doing that because I got no budget, otherwise I got to do it myself. But yeah, well, the Greek genetics, that's what it does to you. So in some sort of ways, in your own way, despite your frame, no offense, you're very skinny and I'm very jealous of you for that too. Fucking, I'm pretty sure you got some Amazonian in your bloodstream too as well, being that you're Greek of Norse mythology and shit. You know, but okay. And by the way, thanks for joining. We're talking about Justice League and the Snyder Cut as well too. Just released it. There you go. Just short of. Oh, another big worry I had is that two things actually about fucking Superman being dead. So, Superman's dead. The master plans to bring him back to life from one of the mother boxes or the fucking planet pussies, whatever thing they dubbed it as, to bring him back to life on some Pet Cemetery shit, which the fucking Flash of all people pointed out, but that he tried that joke too many times, it didn't stick. Bring him back to life, but all things one. I didn't know if anyone else noticed, but of all things to bury Batman in, they buried him in some very ugly bowling shoe-esque type of fucking footwear. Big, glossy, shiny, like you're going to like a recital in like the 1950s kind of shoes. On top of that, the suit was ill-fitting, and we're in the days nowadays, modern times at least, where even guys as big as like John Cena or fucking like Shaq could get like a properly form-fitting suit custom tailored to them. So of all things you would think with the budget DC puts into the fucking films, or let alone Superman, they're gonna have Superman look good or decent in like, okay, dead, but at least looking good in the suit in the fucking box. So not only do they have a cheap box, which is misleading because at least in Dawn of Justice when they buried his ass, it looked like he got the whole like fancy soldier dyed at war fucking coffin, glossy wooden shit. But then when they dig him out, the Flash and fucking Cyborg, and they load him into the back of a truck, he's like in a pine box of all things. And then they fucking bust the pine box open, and he's in an ugly ass fucking pinstripe suit, again with fucking bowling shoes on of all things, to dip into the water of the fucking Kryptonian ship, trying to bring him back to life. That's one part. How disgraceful that is to do that to Superman of all people, of all alien beings, by the way. And then two, of all things, if Batman, this is why they fucking did Batman wrong in Justice League, and I feel like they did a good job, a better job if anything, of doing him justice, like the League, in the Snyder Cut, by actually showing off how empathetic and how much he cares about, of all things, shockingly, the fucking world. Batman gives a fuck, apparently. It's not just him being a billionaire caring about fucking champagne and pussy on some Drake shit, but more of, okay, we gotta save the planet. I'm sorry to Superman. I got him killed. It's my fault. I fucking dragged it on too long, so let's try to go fucking save the world one more time, bring him back to life, and if I gotta die, I'll die for the sake of the planet. Whatever. So, of all things that worries me, of course, is if he is, as he's been dubbed, affectionately so much, one of the world's greatest detectives, Batman I mean. Why of all things, when they're fucking scheming and plotting to bring him back Superman to life, is he not the one to have a backup plan in case of all things he goes evil, he goes fucking rogue, he comes back, he doesn't know which way's up, which way's down, he's got his superpowers intact, but he doesn't realize he's Superman until he comes sniffing around like a fucking bloodhound would, but in his case, a puss hound, because of course, he got fine-ass Lois Lane, split second, drop of a hat, he fucking sees her fine ass walk up to him to try to stop him. Stop, Clark, stop, don't do it no more. Of course he stops, just short of fucking blasting right through Batman with his fucking heat vision and shit. Of all things, Batman don't have a fucking foolproof plan. That's the whole point of Batman. He has no superpowers, but he's a fucking, as best described, and shout outs to one of the best, if not greatest sitcoms to most currently exist. And I'll put it up there with Seinfeld. I'll put it up there with fucking Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, almost level, just short of Modern Family, as best described by Jay Pritchard in Modern Family. Batman is a muscle-bound genius detective. How the fuck, of all people, is DC gonna make him look like an absolute cuck and not have a backup plan in case Superman goes rogue like he does in every other fucking team-up movie, animated or whatever? When he's involved with Superman, he's got a foolproof plan for him. Wonder Woman, Flash, this one, that one, if they all go rogue or they all get brainwashed or don't know who the fuck they are at some point and use their powers for evil. So I didn't like that so much. That of all things, he just fucking wrecks shop, goes crazy. He even throws his own line back at him. Do you bleed? As fucking cucky as Superman said it to him when he's lifting him up in the air and just short of fucking killing him and shit. At least in the Snyder Cut, they cut that part out, that line out, reiteration of it. And I was also confused because in the Snyder Cut, I think Wonder Woman gave him some shit, Batman I mean, like to fucking put on his fucking forearms to block some shit from Superman. He's got him on both arms, but then when he uses them both up and he's just about to blast right through him, all Batman can do is flinch like a bitch and fucking not even come ready with the fucking suit he had before for Superman, with the kryptonite laced, with the kryptonite guns and fucking machine gun or whatever too. Nothing. He just comes in bare bones with his fucking pathetic ass suit. And it looks like he's too much into S&M or whatever. But okay, that's Batman, so the injustice done to him in Justice League, but they did a much better job with him in the Snyder Cut. Okay, thank God for that. I don't know. Then there's the Snyder Cut. I mean, there's so much more to get into with Justice League, period, and in general. But listen, I don't know. It's just a lot to fucking do, because the Snyder Cut makes me think of the fact that, okay, there's this whole thing now where we didn't get this the first time around. 4 hours of the fucking Snyder Cut version of Justice League. I can easily see why, as a studio, you would not fucking go with anything being more than 3. Because again, like I mentioned earlier, we got the 3-hour version of Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, the Ultimate Edition, when it released on streaming services and or Blu-ray, DVD, whatever the fuck, 4K, this, that, whatever, when it released. The half hour added on to those 2.5 hours from the original version does nothing for it, and especially doesn't merit an R rating, because there was like 2 or 3 fucks thrown in there. No one flashed a tit. We didn't even see like Superman's cock to even merit it being an R just for language. Come on, whatever. That's bullshit. At least fucking give us an upskirt of Lois Lane or something, which we got actually in the Snyder Cut. Because there was something I read on Twitter that was like a big deal about, oh, we didn't get the ass shots that we got galore in fucking Justice League of the Amazonians. I didn't see any fucking either version. So I don't know what the fuck they were talking about. But in the Snyder Cut, we did get an upskirt of Wonder Woman at, I want to say, when was it? I made a timestamp of it. Of course, I'm a simpleton, but still. 2 hours and 6 minutes in the Snyder Cut version, we get a nice upskirt of the glorious Gal Gadot. Even though she's got panties on, and I'm assuming Wonder Woman would be one to wear panties and shit, but still. Nice to see fucking up that Amazonian skirt. Plaid leather skirt, whatever the fuck you call it. But again, getting back to the point. I can see why we didn't get a 4-hour version. With the additions, with the adding of scenes, dialogue, action sequences, everything that got piled up on top of Justice League in the Snyder Cut, the 4-hour version we just got a couple days removed from when we're doing this live right now. It makes sense to give us the version now, after the fact. I can see why, again, Warner Brothers, whoever, wouldn't give this a green light to come out when Justice League came out. I don't understand why we got the version we got instead, however, because it's a little bit too... No, I do see why. It's probably the execs trying to play up to the Avengers fucking fame at that time, because at that point, it should have... I know it was definitely the first one, and it was probably Ultron that already came out. And Marvel's already on top of the universe. Again, Man of Steel, I love Man of Steel. I'll gladly defend that film, even if Superman kills at the end. He does in the comics, and justifiably so. He had to kill an evil being. He's all fucking bent out of shape over it, but of course, good old fucking pretty redhead pussy will fix that right up. Shout out to Lois Lane, or Amy Adams as Lois Lane. And then you got Dawn of Justice, which was cool. It was the mashup that we hadn't got yet from fucking Marvel. I think the closest was up until that point, what, Civil War? And I don't remember offhand when Civil War came out. It might have been, I think, before. I want to say maybe the same time or after Dawn of Justice. I don't remember, for God's sakes. I'm fucking drawing a blank here. But Batman vs. Superman is what everybody wanted to see. Just like at the end of this month, fucking March, we got what I'm waiting for, and I'm actually going to risk going back to the theaters for the first time since the lockdown, fucking Godzilla vs. King Kong. So, with that being said, when we finally got Batman vs. Superman, it was too long, it was too drawn out, it was too much going on to try to make up for being too long and too drawn out. We did get Gal Gadot, which was a very pleasant surprise and very nice to look at in every fucking version of Wonder Woman she's done. Dawn of Justice, Wonder Woman 1 and 2, and Justice League. But it's not enough because it was overkill at some point. It was just too much going on. Poor casting as well. Questionable dialogue. Again, Jesse Eisenberg was terrible as Lex Luthor. I didn't like him. It's like they plucked up some idiot from fucking Williamsburg, gave him billions and said, here, try to pretend to be evil and not drink fucking almond milk for a day, go regular and shit. Like, oh, of course, who wouldn't go evil at that point? But yeah, Dawn of Justice didn't really do it for us. So I get why maybe the studio would try to build off or take from the energy that fucking the Avengers had and said, hey, give us an Avenger-esque energy like Justice League. Keep every character as powered as possible, but someone's got to be the comic relief. So at the expense of, I guess Batman had to be the punching bag because he comes off as fucking a pussy throughout the whole film, the original version. The Snyder Cut does make up for it. Again, you're more empathetic, you feel more for him. It kind of confirms more that yes, at least the best Bruce Wayne, I gotta go and give it to Ben Affleck. Fuck that shit if you disagree. The best Batman, sure, might be debatable, but I'll even still throw Ben Affleck up there and say, hey, I'm a fucking Batfleck boy right here. I gotta go with him being the best Batman. On film, on TV, whatever. Best version of. And even more than the fucking animated series voice of, what is it, Kevin Conroy that does it? Fuck it, I gotta go with Ben Affleck, regardless. Whichever way you fucking paint, draw, animate, or in real life act out as Batman, I gotta go with Affleck. But yeah. So I can see maybe why they did that. I would have understood a 3-hour version, perhaps, of the Snyder Cut. I don't even want to say like my problem or my drawbacks when you're talking about the Snyder Cut. I did just watch it now today, finally. 4 hours is asking way too much for me. And I'm not even like a big DC fan like that. And I get the ones that fucking went on Twitter right after, oh my God, it's the greatest thing afterwards, a masterpiece, the version we deserved, whatever. No, we deserved better than what we got with Justice League, but this ain't the better version either, necessarily. I'd say there's too much added on. It's better than Justice League. It is. It definitely is. Everything flows better. Cyborg is presented as a much more empathetic character, even though I already liked him from Justice League. I liked him. The actor's really good that plays him. And the story didn't go in deep, but you got at least enough of a sense of like, okay, remorseful. He thinks he's like a Frankenstein pretty much, but he's really one of the more powerful beings if you really look at it like that too. You got the Flash where you got no real background for or story of, but understood enough. I mean, whatever, I guess people liked him and shit, so I didn't necessarily like him. He was okay, but he just talked way too much and was really unfunny. Snyder Cut proved that even more by talking way too fucking much, even more than the first version, and then being even more unfunny in the Snyder Cut of all things. One can only imagine how was that fucking possible, but they did it. Also, I'm not a fan of the chapters or breaking it up into sequences like that because it's just a stark reminder of how fucking long this thing is in the first place. 4 hours is too much for any fucking movie. This is why they broke up fucking the Hunger Games. What was it? Mockingbird 1 and 2 into 2 parts. If not, it would have been like a 5-hour movie altogether, and no one's making it through that. As much as I love Jennifer fucking Lawrence, shout outs to her, she's still a piece of ass to me. I love that girl. And as entertaining as the two leading into fucking, into Mockingbird 1 and 2, Mockingjay, I think, whatever, were, 5 hours would have been too much. So, of course, they made the right decision to cut it into 2. But even still, like, you know, it wasn't that great, I guess, an ending to that fucking whole series. Oh, excuse me. Goddamn, I got gas. What was the other one that was broken up into 2 parts? Well, Avengers. Actually, Avengers is a good example. As good as Infinity War was, if we would have gotten like a 5-hour version, or maybe even 6, if you think, well, okay, no, maybe 5, because Infinity War was 2, maybe just above 2, and then Endgame was just below, just short of 3. So if we would have gotten one film, that would have been 5 hours altogether. So that would have been overkill too, for one sitting at least. Wise decision, cut into 2, even though Infinity War is much more entertaining throughout than Endgame was. Even though Endgame has the epic final battle where everybody comes back to life to fuck up Thanos, and then Thanos and his whole army too. It's a beautiful thing to make it up to that moment. 22 movies in to the fucking game and commitment and shit, and then you get that fucking proper send-off, and then Tony, of course, Iron Man dying at the very end. My favorite guy out of all of them. You know, proper send-off. Sad still, I cried in the theaters. I said I love you 3,000 for a while after that happened, but, you know, I'm a simpleton. I'm a simple man. I know what I fucking like, but still, that's what I'm saying. So, 4 hours is too much. The chapters fucking remind you too much that it's 4 hours, and it's like, you can come back, you can pause it, come back to another day if you have to. I get that too, but it's just, I felt it was too much. A good example of it being too much and unnecessarily is the Amazonian part, where Steppenwolf gets the fucking mother box from them. It's way too drawn out. I think it's 3 times as long as the original version was in Justice League. Unnecessarily. We get the point the first time around. He bust in, beat up all the fucking Amazonians, got the box, had to beat down the fucking one closest to the fucking elder Amazonian too. She sends a fucking arrow to signal Wonder Woman, hey, we're in fucking distress here. Our pussies are fucking dripping out of fear and shit. Fucking invasion, whatever. And then, you know, that's signaling the bad guys here. The version they played in the Snyder Cut was 3 hours too long. There's a whole fucking collapsing of the building and shit extra added on, tacked on for God knows what, for more dramatic effect. There was another really fucking long scene. I'm trying to remember right now. But a good example of actually dragging or adding on to something was, again, Cyborg's story. Because at least you get to fucking see in depth how he came to be, the accident that led to fucking him gaining his powers, his dad caring so much, even though he lost his mother, he didn't want to lose him, so he dared to be brave enough to fuck around with fucking alien science. Made him into who he was now, Cyborg. And you get to see that he was a fucking boy with dreams and shit. You just want to fucking see his dad around and whatnot. And all that too. It's really touching. It really makes you fucking grow to love Cyborg more. Which, again, I liked him already from Justice League. This made me much more of a fan of Cyborg and want eventually a solo film, if not at least like a, let's see, a HBO Max series, at least a Cyborg or something like that. Of him adapting to his powers at the time right before they fucking do the Justice League thing, if anything, too. A part about the Snyder Cut that bothered me a little bit was the music, or the soundtracking of it all. Because when they slow down time, especially with the Flash in his parts of when he's coming to realize his powers, and of course it's Snyder Cut I'm referring to, when he comes to realize how powerful he is, how fast he is, when he saves a fucking, I'm going to presume an Indian girl, not Indian, okay, well, from India, she looks Indian-ish, from the country India, saves her from the fucking truck crash, whatever, too. I don't know why they cue up this fucking music that's so sad and so reflective of fucking how bad a life he might have had up until that point. It's so misfitting to fucking what should be like happy, tempo building, esteem building music to fucking be like, here's the hero discovering his powers. No, it's more like I'm watching one of those ASPCA commercials of fucking the dogs with the fucking gunky eyes or fucking half an ear bitten off because they've been, you know, the testing fucking training dummies for pit bull fighting or whatever. But it's just, the music kind of fucking set me off like, this ain't the right music to fucking play for the Flash discovering his powers. This ain't the fucking music to be like Wonder Woman busting through a fucking group of international terrorists like that. This is all wrong. It's the same fucking issue I had with Dawn of Justice when they were introducing the master plan that Lex Luthor had the whole time. the shit they played sounded like someone kept dropping random objects on the fucking piano throughout his fucking speech. And at some point, that shit's louder than his actual speech. I can't fucking hear him. It's not like I want to hear him anyway. He sucked so bad as Lex Luthor. But even if I wanted to pay attention to be like, wait, what'd you say? What's that again? Lex Luthor? You evil genius, you? It's fucking random objects all on the piano, like ting, 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 pong, 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 whatever. That's a whole mess. I don't know if anybody noticed it too as well. They altered the voice as well as the look of Steppenwolf in the Snyder Cut, but they also tampered with his voice. It's much more deeper and echoey and bassy, but also at some points he has a lisp, if anything too. I forget the line, I didn't write it down, but there's something about him talking to fucking Darkseid, or Darkseid? Darkseid. He's talking to Darkseid through that fucking disembodied figure that follows him around and questions him all the time. Where are the fucking cubes, you asshole? And shit. He's talking to him and he's like, my lord, I promise I will get you the mother boxes. It's like really lispy. I don't know if they really tacked that on, if they just really wanted to, like, compared to Justice League where he was so overpowered, they really fucking depowered him in fucking the Snyder Cut so much. Steppenwolf I'm talking about. I mean, just like they did reversal with fucking Batman. Justice League, he's fucking underpowered and like really fucking, why are you even here? You're a sack of shit. The fucking, at least in the Snyder Cut, it's like, okay, at least you stand for something. You're trying to unify everybody, bring everybody together. So, okay, you're cool. You can, sit at the cool kids table and shit, you non-powered asshole being. You're just rich. So, if we break stuff, you can just pay for our fucking utility bills and shit kind of thing. I don't know. At least in the Snyder Cut 2, they finally explained the mother box better because I really didn't understand the concept of it or whatever. There's a whole like 5 minutes they just go on and on and on about it. And also, finally to wrap it up as far as the Snyder Cut's concerned, Darkseid is a much better villain, even though I can't help. Okay, he came first, so pause. He came first, you can't help but make the comparison, and I know it's different scales, different universes entirely, they don't fucking cross over nothing. I can't help but think of Thanos when I hear and see Darkseid. There's even a point where Darkseid, he gets a signal of the fucking Superman coming to life, fed to him, where he's sitting on the edge of something just like Thanos is a lot of times when he gets privy to some info that's beneficial to him at any point in time in any fucking movie you might think of. So you can't help but make that comparison between the two. It's right there, it's fucking in your face. But also Darkseid is pretty cool as how much more subservient he is to evil and what he wants. Thanos, at least you kind of sympathize with him. You're kind of like, you know what? Maybe getting rid of half the population will be better for the fucking natural resources, and we won't have to cut so many stimulus checks and shit like in some Joe Biden shit, whatever, too. You kind of understand where he's coming from, and you kind of see where you even get to the point where was Thanos right all along, perhaps? No, Darkseid makes it clear he just wants to fucking blow up planets and take over and make it all his. He's a fucking greedy brat at the fucking playground, taking all the toys and hogging all the fucking wooden blocks, even if he's too stupid to put together a fucking house, if he really wanted to put his brain to it. But still, he's like an asshole like that. Very good villain, at the expense of Steppenwolf kind of getting cucked, I guess, but you feel more for him, a lot more for him in this fucking version too. Compared to him being overpowered as he was in Justice League, he's the only guy there. Now he's like, serving, of course, Darkseid. Which again makes you think, well, wait a second. If this was there the whole time, why couldn't we just get Darkseid from the jump? Because if they really wanted to fucking get the jump on Avengers while keeping the Avengers energy, which they try to copy in the first version of Justice League, why not fucking one-up them and just throw in Darkseid right then, right there, before they fucking had Infinity War and fucking Endgame? But again, I'm not the studios. I can understand why they wanted to be like, okay, 2 hours is all you get. Give us what you got. Have it all make sense within 2 hours. That's all you're getting. No 3 hours, no 4 hours. 3 hours I could have seen actually maybe work in a movie, because at least you get a backstory as you should to everybody, We don't need Batman again. We get that fucking already. We don't need Superman. We get that already. Wonder Woman we got already too, but it'd be nice to see more of her development since she's the oldest one out of all of them. But then you need the backstory to fucking Cyborg and Flash, which wouldn't have taken too long, maybe like 20 minutes a piece, if that. Aquaman, we got his introduction already. We need to see the fucking dynamics between the team build up, how they get together. Can Batman actually put them together? Can he succeed in fucking doing what he promised to Superman upon his death? Of course, he couldn't promise him that while he was alive, of all things too, but still, all right. Superman coming back to life. Okay, you can play up the confusion angle. I get it too. Like, Superman's confused, he doesn't know what to do with himself. He's like all overpowered, but it's not him, it's not his brain. Like Aquaman pointed out at some point too, that's him, all his powers, but it's just not him, like he was before. And then, falling apart, not knowing where to find the third box, or they had the third box, but they fucking lose it, and they call upon Darkseid, or if they would have done that the first time around, or Steppenwolf would have just came this close to fucking ending the whole world, but then Superman comes through anyway. That would have made up 3 hours right there, instead of the 4 hours we got now, because, well, Snyder wanted it, they wanted it for Snyder, it was injustice, what they did to him by not giving him the 4-hour version or not seeing his vision come to life, and now we got it 4 years later. So this kind of opens up Pandora's box, to me at least, to be like, well, what's going to stop movies once things go back to normal, hopefully soon enough nowadays, from going the same route? We're dropping movie A on a set date. Oh, you know what? It did really well. It sold a lot of tickets, highly praised, did a lot of post-sale as far as like streaming, DVD, on demand, whatever the fuck, how would people get movies after they've been in theaters and shit nowadays? It did really well. Oh, guess what? We got this one version we meant to put out the first time, but we didn't know how people will react. So now we're going to do that shit now, a year or two later since this movie came out, and hey, guess what? You get to fucking pay for it all over again. And guess what? It's only 30 minutes longer. It's only like 40 minutes longer. But shit you didn't see before. It opens up a whole fucking Pandora's box, like I said. To be like, we're going to test the waters with this version. It fucking hits. It's up and it's stuck. It works. Okay, let's just put out the same movie again. Ultimate, extended, uncut version. Director wanted this, but was too scared to fucking put out the first time. Here it is the second time. 40 extra minutes or whatever the fuck you didn't need the first time around. Shout out to Melly Token. Shout out to Insta Rick 85 for joining the live as well. We're talking about Justice League and Justice League, the Snyder Cut as well too, right now. So it just worries me that we're gonna get a lot of that, especially with the fucking superhero films, because up until now, I don't think Marvel's done that, at least with like Ultimate Edition, extended version, the Snyder Cut, all this and all that. I don't think they're going to go that route necessarily, because if anything, they got Disney Plus, they got the series they're doing already very well. Fucking WandaVision was great. I didn't get to the first episode of The Falcon and Winter Soldier just yet, but I'm planning to later tonight. So maybe in the next episode I'll mention if I liked it or not or whatever. I'll catch up to 1 and 2 by then. But yeah. Hopefully Marvel doesn't copy that shit and start doing the same shit. But DC, because they had a lot of fucking catching up to do in comparison to Marvel and everything they done up until that point, leading into the first Justice League from 2017, what's going to stop them now from doing that again? If they got to do fucking what they're doing now with the Batman, with, what's his name? Robert Pattinson, which should be good. It looks like the trailer at least looked really good. But what's to stop them from like releasing it a year later? Oh, guess what? We have this whole fucking 47 minutes we didn't throw into the first one since you liked it so much and fucking sold out every time it came out to theaters. Here's another version a year later. Or here's another version 4 months later. Keep it running into theaters and shit, whatever. I just don't want that happening so much. But you know what? Listen, finally made it to the end of the show. Right now, I gotta do what I gotta do every time, which I enjoy doing, and I gotta be brutally honest. As I was up until this point, I get even more honest, more open, more out there as far as what the fuck I gotta say, what I gotta tell you, and what I thought, most importantly, about this one and that one. Talking about Justice League, the OG version, and Justice League, the Snyder Cut. HBO Max exclusive, by the way. So listen, thanks to another DC movie, funny enough, Wonder Woman 1984. I think I kept saying 87 for some reason earlier. But if I did, excuse me. I meant to say 1984. But then again, the movie sucks so much, that doesn't fucking matter if I call it 84, 87. She's still like what? They said at some point 5,000 years old and still a piece of ass like she is right now. 3-year difference is like 3 minutes in her world. It doesn't fucking matter. She's still fine as fuck. Gal Gadot, shout outs to her, always. But now it's time to fucking rate both Justice League and the Snyder Cut. So with that being said, thanks to Wonder Woman 1984, I had to come up, because it was so bad, by the way, let me clarify. I had to come up with my own rating system. I had to come up with a system unique to me and me solely as far as who this been watching is concerned. Now listen, you might do popcorns, thumbs, stars, eggplant emojis, whatever helps you have your fun. Whatever you fucking use to rate your own systems. You rate your own films, excuse me. 4 or 5 of them, whatever. I gotta go the other, right? I gotta go with emojis, emotions, because it all comes back to how you feel about something. You might base it off of fucking whatever tangible object you want to use to fucking rate the thing with, but no. I use fucking emotions. I'm emotion driven like that too. Can't you tell by now that that's what I am? I'm honest in my approach. With that being said, we're going to start from the top, work our way down to the bottom as far as the rating system is concerned, just so you're fucking up on game and you're familiar with what the fuck I'm talking about. All right, so let's just say something in your world, according to a critic or maybe Rotten Tomatoes, whatever, might be something along the lines of, let's say, a 4 out of 4. Something you love so much and you fucking herald it like the classic that it is. You can't fucking help but run from your fucking sofa or run out of your theater seat to fucking tell the people in the next theater over, hey, you need to watch this shit. It's fantastic. It's a classic. I love it. I need to fucking tell you the story anyway, but you have to go watch it anyway, buy a whole ticket for it too, etc., etc. It's a masterpiece. It's a classic. That's a 4 out of 4 to you. In my world, that's yes. As in, yes, give me more. Give me a prequel. Yes, give me a sequel. Yes, give me a fucking Disney Plus series. Yes, give me whatever the fuck else I gotta quench my thirst with until I get another fucking movie of this shit and hopefully it's just as good. Yes, give me more, period. That's a 4 out of 4. Now listen, if you go one down, something around a 3 out of 4 territory. It's really good. It's not a classic. I really enjoy myself though. I can't envision anybody not liking this shit, not thoroughly enjoying it as well. And I gotta let it be known. Listen, you ask me, I'm gonna tell you it's a really good fucking movie. I enjoyed myself. You'll enjoy yourself too, most likely. And if I'm wrong by some chance, well, listen, I got my opinion. It doesn't matter. I told you what I really liked, and you asked me what I really liked. So that's a 3 out of 4 to me. But that's to you, though. In my world, in my case, I gotta go with as in a very pleasant surprise. Maybe I didn't have the highest hopes for the fucking film, but then again, oh shit, I watched that shit, and oh shit, it's really good. I enjoyed myself thoroughly the whole time. Fucking remarkable. Again, not a classic, but really enjoyed it shit. If I lost like half a thumb in a fucking, I don't know, an air conditioning installment accident, I still got 1.5 thumb to give it. So that's where I gotta go with it too. Oh, shout outs to 8_1_0_ podcast or Bill and Vaughn for joining as well. Shout outs to you and shout outs to him for actually having his first anniversary show, I believe yesterday on Twitch. I tried to join, but adult responsibilities, fucking chores, fucking running around crazy all over the place. So I had to miss it, but I'll make sure to watch it back, bro. And thanks for tuning in, as always. Much love and much appreciated. Now, moving further down the scale, if something's a 2 out of 4, if according to you, you gotta give it 2 stars out of 4, whatever the fuck you can think of, okay, well, that's fine and dandy for you. Meaning it's okay, meaning it's good. I wouldn't recommend it to everybody, but I liked it. I thoroughly enjoyed myself, at least, etc., whatever. In your, in your world, that's a 2 out of 4. But in mine, I gotta go with a O. Meaning, I thought it'd be better, but it was okay at best. Or, I thought that'd be pretty bad, but it wasn't as bad as I thought. Okay, we keep it mid-ground per se. It's neither here nor there. Like I mentioned in one episode before, and I finally Googled myself enough to fucking correct myself, a Venn diagram. It's that section where the two circles meet. That's where we stick with as far as O is concerned. 2 out of 4. That's where we leave it right there. Now, if something goes lower than that, and that's not the very end of it, if something's a 1 out of 4, according to you, and you're like, well, you know what? It's one of those guilty pleasure films where I can't openly admit to fucking liking this thing, but, you know, I watch it when it's on after a certain part, or there's one part you can't afford to miss. It's really good. It makes up for the fucking movie being otherwise not so good, or trash, just short of, or I can't really say it's garbage just because, you know what? This is one fucking part. 1 out of 4, I gotta go with meh, which means exactly that. Guilty pleasure like Mortal Kombat, the 1995 version, not the one coming up, because obviously no one's seen that yet, in April, I mean. It's like, if you make it to before the fucking Scorpion Johnny Cage fight, I'll stick around and watch, just at least for that part. And if I got something else more important to do, like life, I'll fucking leave that shit alone and let it fucking play in its own universe and parallel whatever existence. If I made it after that part, or I tuned in after that part's been over, I'm not going to bother with the rest of it. As cool as the rest of it is, nah, I'm not going to fucking bother. But yeah, that's a meh. Now listen, I haven't gotten there yet. No movie has faced this wrath just yet, but believe me, I'm fucking saving up my energy, reserving it, lock, stock, and barrel, ready to fucking blow whenever the occasion arises and it comes up for it. When something hits a 0 out of 4, meaning it's shit, it's trash, who approved this shit, who fucking greenlit the budget for it, who fucking worked catering on such a piece of shit movie like this was, and had the nerve to come back day after day, at least to feed themselves. They might have been living out of a fucking refrigerator box on the streets in fucking Hollywood, but for the sake of a fucking hot plate and something to take home with them, wrapped in some tin foil afterwards because they had fucking filming to do, but they know the movie, the show sucked, whatever, and they dare to do so, but even they know it's absolute shit. If it's a 0 out of 4, and I don't know how the fuck anybody finance this shit, I gotta go with a why. Why the fuck would you agree? Would you sign on the dotted line to fucking voice a character, to fucking walk on set, knowing this is absolutely abysmal? If this film were life, this would need to be aborted right away, dumped in the back alley, flushed down the toilet, punch that bitch hard enough in the stomach to fucking make that thing go away. I'm sorry, that's a joke. Probably ill-timed and ill-mannered considering it's still, what is it, International Women's Month or just Women's Month? Whatever, something like that. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. It's abortion-worthy. It's terrible. Not the case for fucking Justice League or Justice League the Snyder Cut. I think I might have just lisped the fuck out of that. I meant to say Justice League OG and or Justice League the Snyder Cut. If we're talking about just Justice League, if only that existed in itself, no Snyder Cut, no 4-hour unnecessary version of fucking making up for 2017's Avengers competition per se. Justice League, I gotta go with a O. 2 out of 4 in this case. It's mid. Straight down the middle like Gal Gadot's vagina. It's mystical in its powers and it's powerful. It captures you and enraptures you in its fucking vibes and mysticism and such. But better yet being said, why down the middle? It's not good, according to me. It's not bad, according to me. It's right there. I can't really stray too far left or right as far as however you feel about it is concerned, because Batman's underpowered. Superman's too confused when he comes back to life. Batman has no fucking foolproof backup plan when Superman comes back to life and he's fucking all emotionally distressed, PTSD, whatever, being dead and arisen from the dead without anybody's consent, let alone his. Let's see. There's not enough Lois Lane. She's a piece of ass. Shouts to Amy Adams. Wonder Woman is very good throughout the film, and this is more throwing it back to Wonder Woman 1, not so much what we got unpleasantly enough with Wonder Woman 1984. Shout outs to whodissis Canada for joining the live as well. And what else? Let's see. We didn't get so much Flash as we did. The little bit we did get was unfunny, at least to me. I didn't enjoy him so much. But at least in comparison, we got Cyborg, which I already from Justice League 1, the first version, enjoyed a lot and wish we got a lot more of, which we gladly, and thank God, we got a lot more of in the Snyder Cut. Fully fleshed backstory, feel a lot more for him, and you realize he's probably one of the low-key, most powered beings out of all of them, too, amongst them all. I haven't seen Aquaman yet, but now I really want to see it just because of how much I liked Aquaman in both versions, Justice League and Snyder Cut. Funny, snarky, dry-cut humor he is as well, too. I didn't like the Flash in either version, but more importantly, Justice League. It's not bad, overall. I just think, again, they try to chase down the fucking Avengers-esque vibe the first time around with 2017's version. It's not terrible. It's not bad. It's good. I can't say it's great. I think we could have gotten a lot more out of it. Steppenwolf was overpowered in the first Justice League. Underpowered, surprisingly, in the Snyder Cut. But I guess it made sense when you had to introduce and bring in fucking Darkseid of all people. Okay, so the first Justice League, I'll give it a O. 2 out of 4. I'm going to stick right there with it, and that's where I'm going to leave it. As far as the Snyder Cut's concerned, again, I'm really concerned that this is going to open the fucking floodgates. No, excuse me, bust them open for fucking movies doing that shit too. Hey, if you like this movie that came out back in 2016 for no reason, whatever. Hey, guess what we found just for you? Fucking a whole 35 minutes we didn't throw in the first time around. We're going to throw it back at theaters. You need to watch it here. It's going to be on streaming services. It's the same thing, just fucking here and there, interjected, added scenes, bonus dialogue, this, that, the other. When we used to just get that from a fucking streaming service and or DVDs and such with bonus edition, extra featurettes, whatever, etc., etc. I think it's just going to be a cheap excuse. I hope not, but a cheap excuse to throw shit back on the theaters for the sake of, you haven't seen this version with an extra added, deleted, fucking director's extended cut, too scared to show you the first time around. Now he fucking got past his PTSD and depressive state of mind to fucking put it in this version, only in theaters, or you have to re-rent it, re-fucking download it again off a streaming service of choice and whatever and whatnot. I'm scared of that fucking thing happening now because, of course, the movie industry has to make up for this whole past year of the pandemic, theaters being closed. Excuse me. A lot of movies meant to come out in theaters had to fucking go to fucking streaming service right away, which I don't blame them, but I just don't want that to be a fucking crutch they can just rely on, just like they did now with the Snyder's Cut. It's better than the version we got now of 2017's Justice League. Is it a lot better? I'd say it's a little better. But does it change the score I gave it compared to Justice League 2017 right now? Surprisingly, I gotta be that guy, no. It's still O for me as far as Justice League. Justice League OG and Justice League Snyder Cut. Both an O, 2 out of 4. I like Snyder's Cut. I didn't like the chapters split up. I didn't like the unnecessarily long shit that we didn't get the first time around. I do like the fucking added backstory to both Flash, who I didn't enjoy that much, but I still like the fact that he got a backstory, and really enjoyed the fact that Cyborg got some build up to him. I really love that fucking Wonder Woman looked even better in this fucking version than she already did in Justice League itself. I love that they fucking made up for Batman looking so underpowered and useless in the first Justice League. Now he looks like he has a set of balls and belongs, like I said, at the cool kids table because he's that rich and he can fucking back up everybody with gadgets and fucking at least a genius level fucking detective mindset at least too, for the sake of not having any powers. And also Superman is better handled throughout this one too as well. He's not just fucking raging emo out of bed. Hey mom, you didn't cook my fucking sausage patties like I asked you. You bitch! And fucking start raging or fucking writing suicide songs in the fucking garage with his little emo band and shit. And then eventually come back around and be like a good boy and be like, I'm sorry, mom, I was just fucking being emo and shit. No. This time around, he's like a little bit more fleshed out, a little better represented, overall better. I hate that Steppenwolf was underpowered this time around compared to being overpowered in Justice League. But for the sake of having to introduce Darkseid 2, it makes sense. And I did like Darkseid. He's just straight up evil. He's not Thanos where you can kind of like feel a little bit like what he's saying. Like, I kind of see his point. He's not totally wrong, but he's being a dick about it, like too abrasive, too upfront, too Cuomo, allegedly, with it, grabbing him by the pussy. And Darkseid in comparison is, again, straight up evil. There's no fucking room for fucking error, no room to be like, hey, I kind of understand where he's coming from. No, Darkseid's a dick. Darkseid's an evil alien dick. He wants to take over the planet. He wants to fucking destroy everything and make everybody his slave. That's it. But yeah, I'd say it's better, but not that much better than Justice League, because Justice League itself wasn't that bad. It was mid. The Snyder Cut only adds to it somewhat in its own way, shape, or form, but it does not, in my case, for the case of who this been watching, get it out of the O or 2 out of 4 territory. Both versions, 2 out of 4, O. That's where it's staying. It's up and stuck. And I said what I said. I don't give a fuck that Twitter is obsessed with being like the Snyder version, 4 hours of fucking glorious cinematic masterpiece on film. I'm going to watch it all over again. No, I think people are too excited about the fact that we got this version surprisingly compared to fucking 2017, which we didn't get the first time around. I would have understood the 3-hour version. I would have said trim it down to 3 hours. We could have saved a lot of fucking, we could have trimmed a lot of fat off this version, the Snyder Cut, and brought it down to 3. And it would have made it a lot better. I just think 4 was overkill. The bookmarks, chapters, whatever thing too, just kind of fucking rehash the fact that, hey, might as well take a piss break, sleep, take a nap, eat, get yourself recomposed so you can finish this shit. Hopefully by the next time you're able to sit down and not get numb legs because you've been sitting down so long the first time. Finally though, thank you so much everybody for tuning in to today's edition. Bringing it back live, regularly scheduled, but now on a new day, new night more specifically. Friday nights, here with me on Who This Is 1. This is Who This Been Watching, the movie recap, review show that only I can do in my style and my sense and my form. Because you know what? If no one else is brave enough to do it the way I do it, then I'm doing my job right. Everyone else is too scared to fucking try to copy me and do what I try to do. Thanks for watching. Every Friday, 7 p.m., live here first on Who This Is 1 on Instagram. A couple of days later, you'll be able to get it on YouTube, youtube.com/whodissis1. That's also my channel where you'll get this video and also every other episode I do with my main podcast called AhhFuGGiT, AhhFuGGiT as well. I've been doing it Fridays now because I got sidetracked a couple of weeks ago. But usually every Wednesday, new episode, audio and video-wise as well. Link in the bio. Please don't forget and or be shy to... stupid roof stopping me right now. Click the link in the bio, this profile right here. Who This Is 1 right here. That's what I'm telling you. That's what it is. Also, from now on, Fridays is Who This Been Watching at 7 p.m. Saturdays from now on. Every Saturday and probably add some more days throughout the week as soon as I get the time afforded to me to do so. Every Saturday, live, 1 p.m. Eastern, I'll be on Twitch, twitch.tv/whodissis1. Tomorrow, Saturday, starting, as far as a regularly scheduled thing I'll be doing, tomorrow will be fucking Gran Turismo Sport for the PlayStation 4. Catch me live doing my thing, streaming again. 1 p.m. Eastern, I'll be doing, maybe 3-4 hours of just fucking gaming and talking my shit more importantly. So you'll have fun, tell a friend, share, join in on the fun, join in on the chat, whatever you gotta do, just like you do here, fucking Who This Been Watching. That's new. Twitch TV, again, twitch.tv/whodissis1 to catch me live, Gran Turismo Sport tomorrow with me, yours truly, Who This Is 1. That's the channel, but who this, more importantly, that's what I'm doing. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you for watching. We'll be back next Friday, 7 p.m. with another movie to fucking review, discuss, recap, the way I do it. And the only way that I can do it is doing it like how I do it. Me, that's who. Who this? I'm tired. The Snyder Cut wore me the fuck out. I'm sorry. I'm usually much more energetic or much more fucking vivacious about it, but damn, 4 hours plus the 2 to fucking have to watch with Justice League, you're asking a lot, Snyder, but you did it. You got what the fuck you wanted so badly. Everybody too, thanks for joining in. I'll see you next time.